Hi everybody. For today's video, I'm going to share what's in my mom's sewing box. I was so pleased to be able to inherit this from my mom. It was always on her desk when I was growing up. She made us clothes and I always loved it. I always loved how she loved her sewing. She wasn't a quilter, but sewing is something, a love of sewing I've gotten from her for sure. And when I was able to get this box, it just made it feel like it came home. Not everything that she had in this box came with it, but that's okay. I'm happy to have what I did get, and I've had it a good 15 years now, I guess, so there's other things in this box now too. Some special treasures I had, and some treasures that I've gotten from other sewing collections, Sewing Notion collections I've adopted from other sewers. So let's have a peek. It's a lovely wooden box. It didn't come with a key, so I can't close it completely, but it doesn't matter. I don't need to lock it up. So here's the box. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you about this box is this pin cushion here. This is the very first pin cushion I ever made. I handmade it for my mom as a gift, and I made it just perfect to fit into this square. And can you tell it's from me with the bright green and the big pink butterflies? Not that I had a lot of fabrics to use. I was just using scraps, but yeah, that is such a treasure for me that I have the pin cushion that I made for my mom when I was a little girl. That's so special to me. Now, there's other little things. This is my mom's thimble. It's brass. I don't use it myself for quilting because quilting is a harder thing on thimbles, so I use a different thimble, but I do treasure this one. And I'm not sure where I got this one. It's so little. It's like a little girl's thimble. It lives in here too now. And then this box was my mom's, and she always had it in her sewing box with extra pins and things in it. So I love little tins that hold special treasures. There's a couple of old spools of thread. Faded this one has become. And now this isn't old. Good 10 years back, I received some of they might still be available, but they're sewing accessories that you could hang on a chatelaine. They look like old vintage antique kind, but they're brand new. And this is one of those, and it's a little pincushion teapot. I've never actually used it, but it lives in here too. This is my mom's. I don't know if all sewing machines come with screwdrivers. My Kenmore did. My mom had a green Elna, and this was her screwdriver for using that sewing machine and other things too. It's a nice vintage screwdriver. There's I'm not sure where this came from, but it's a nice little brooch with a red stone. I love the little buckets. And this little crochet hook is from my mom too. She actually crocheted a really large, large enough for a big dining room table, tablecloth one year. It took her a very long time. I'm not sure if this is the hook she used, but it was the kind that you use a little hook like this for. Such patience. All right, in this little bucket, this is my little tin. I'm not sure where I got it, but it has lived in my sewing collection for a while. And it has special pins like a diaper pin. I used to actually use cloth diapers on my son, so this was one of those. And other little pins and needles. Again, love the little tins. This is a special piece of sea glass that I have, so I keep it in here. And I'm not sure what this is. To me, this is not mine. This looks like a little metal spool, to tell you the truth. And the date on it is 1845. Not sure if that's real or just when the company is founded. But yeah, it looks like a little spool. Did they use spools like this back when? I'm not really sure, but it's very heavy. I've had it. It came with my mom's box, so it's there. And here's some more of those new items that are made to look old for your chatelaine. This one's a measuring tape, and I keep it in here too. And this one is supposed to hold needles. I love details like this. And this is a thread guide that you use when you're doing silk ribbon embroidery. I'm not sure why my mom had it. I don't think she ever did silk ribbon embroidery, but it was in here too. And then this, I think, is a bobbin. A shuttle and a bobbin from obviously some old machine. There's the bobbin there. I don't know what machine this came from. I find it totally fascinating because it's so different than the way my machine works. And I love this little bobbin. So fun. Okay. Now, under this little cute box lid, tray, is more little things. Another little box from my childhood. I used to keep lots of needles in here, but I don't anymore these days. I just keep some spares. There's another diaper pin, excuse me, and a hat pin, which I think is always fascinating. We don't use those anymore. And another little box where I keep 1/2-inch pins, says the note. Now, I don't use these often, but they're handy to have. I have used them occasionally. Look how tiny they are. I'd probably use them more if they had bigger heads on them. And here's another box of miscellaneous pins, straight pins, and there's a couple of more hat pins in here. Always interesting. And here's another one of those new but meant to look old. It's a pin cushion, and you can put your pins in sideways like that and then carry it on your chatelaine. There's the hoop to hook it on. And this is also another one of those, and it's actually kind of fascinating. I've not used it. Oops, the other way. It's got a magnet in it, and this is velvet. And I'm assuming it holds pins with the magnet. So that's an interesting, and very heavy too. And this is the final thing in here from the new but made to look old, is a little magnifying glass, which I actually use quite a bit. Now, this is an old, obviously old needles. I love that it's called double long. I never even knew they came that way. Definitely double long to anything I usually use. See how long? Yeah, quite long. I keep meaning to try them out someday, but I haven't thus far. And a box of Taylor chalk. Like I said, my mom made clothes. And I was looking closely at this. Has always been wrapped around. I never really paid attention to it, but the other day I was looking at it and I'm going, that's actually pearl cotton, I think, which is interesting. I wonder why my mom had pearl cotton just this much wrapped around this. Anyways, 10 cents. Okay. This wasn't from my mom, but from one of those collections I adopted. And it holds needles for a sewing machine. Not my sewing machine, but interesting. I love that it's made out of wood. And here's another container that says Cotton Darners 1/5. I'm assuming they were this is a needle holder where you could buy the needles, that this is how they came. I just thought that container was interesting. And here's a little Victoriana box that I covered and treasure, and I have nothing in it, I don't think. No, but something will go in there one day. This is from a quilt show that I attended from Canadian Quilters Association. I don't remember the year, but that's a pin from it. And this little Coats and Clark zipper, it says neck opening. Oh, just an interesting little container. Maybe your zipper came in this little container. It looks like it, 7-inch zipper. And was 30 cents. But what my mom has in here instead are interesting old buttons and cufflinks. This is the kind that you would put through holes in a cuff. So, and that is another one of those that you slip in a hole. Thought those were interesting. And because my mom saved that kind of stuff, I also have, and here's a little bag I have with similar type of items. Not as good as hers, but they're similar. And a crochet hook. This is my smallest crochet hook. I'm not a good crocheter though. And this, I love, love, love this. It's in centimeters, but it's a little ruler with 4 sides. I wish it was 1/4 inch, but it isn't because it's in centimeters. But it was in the bottom of this box. I think it's a fascinating ruler. And okay, the final thing. Oh no, there's this too. It's another sewing machine needle thing. Pfaff. This must have come from one of those collections I adopted, because I've not owned a Pfaff and my mom didn't either. So, but it has a couple of needles in it still. And then the final thing is this little sewing box, calling this J&P Coats sewing kit. And it says here it's a Canadian spool company, which I didn't know. And it has cute little spools in it of thread. Let's see if I can pull one out and show it to you. Look at these. Aren't they cute? Little wooden spools. And there's not 9 spools here. So there's a couple missing. So somebody before me made up a little fake spool with cardboard, which I thought was kind of ingenious. Where they found the little cardboard, I'm not sure. Cardboard tube. But yeah, that's a nice little addition to this vintage collection as well. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the exploration of my mom's sewing box. Thanks for going down memory lane with me today. Thanks for watching. Bye.